I'm recording.
Well, you're definitely on time for the meeting here then, yeah.
Only an hour and a half.
Yeah.
He was early, technically.
Mm-hmm. Early is on time. She didn't say that in her presentation.
No, she didn't say
She
that.
did not.
You know, I'm really disappointed we were short of a 100-page packet this week.
By how many?
Two.
Two.
Sorry.
98.
Sorry. It's 9:30.
Okay. It is 9:30, I'll call the meeting to order, if we can stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, public, any comment? If not, we'll take a motion to approve the agenda and the minutes from June 2nd.
Second.
Motion by Stecker, second by Garmin. Any discussion, questions on the agenda or minutes? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Foremen are not here yet. We've got transfers made by the Kossuth County Auditor in our packet. Gotta get to them. Okay, these are a transfer made from general basic to secondary road in the amount of $2,708.52, and from rural basic to secondary road in the amount of $18,298.70, made on June 2nd. We'll acknowledge those for the record. We'll also acknowledge the local option sales tax transfer by the county auditor in the amount of $500,000 from rural basic to secondary road. Okay, and there's the foreman. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you guys on this humid day?
It'll be a warm one.
Uh-huh. Hopefully the air conditioning's work.
Yeah, hopefully they don't fail.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to report to the board, or board any questions for the foreman?
I guess just trying to do a little blazing here and there. Rain has been real spotty. Some areas not gonna see a blade because it's still dry.
Yeah.
The areas that we've been able to, we're up in.
What was it, Sunday, kind of westerly and north, kind of got a few,
Got hit,
some precip and Titanca to Lakota yesterday. What'd you say, Brian, you had about a half inch over the weekend?
All right, less than that, just had to go a couple miles, I just had a tenth, and you just had to go a couple miles to the east again, and then you got the half inch of love, so it just.
Real spotty showers.
yeah.
Any big projects you guys are working on?
And get caught up on a few things. I've got to go out, Scott, a couple, culverts that we gotta get installed, and
One of those down by West Bend for Strickers, or under,
Bill Lindgren's.
or Bill Lindgren's.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's one.
Yep. I know he mentioned something about that to me the other day.
Scott, have you been on the McGregor east of Laverne Sexton Road anytime recently? I got a call from Tom saying that it was pretty rough and.
It's some of the cracks are, just with slurry coat occasionally.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just, some of them are starting to show up. And
we are planning to slurry level that road,
Is that this year?
yes.
Okay, I was gonna ask that next, I thought that
But they
was-
told me they're gonna come in the beginning of June, and we're at the beginning of June too, so.
Okay, okay.
We're on their timeline.
Yes,
Brian, how's the junkyard on Highway 9? Is
Not
that
too bad,
cleaned up?
we picked up a little bit there the other day, some stuff that somebody dropped off, but otherwise it's been staying pretty clean.
Okay. Think the cameras have been helping and signs?
I think so, it's kinda slow, it's slowed down now. It's just-
Okay. That's good.
As soon as the word gets out, stuff's up there, they're gonna
Yeah.
back off.
Any other questions for the foreman? Alright, thanks guys.
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good week.
You too.
Okay, we have discussion decision approval of cigarette permits for the Spring Valley Golf Course.
how are you?
Motion by Garmin,
Second.
second by Stecker. Any discussion on the permits? If not, all in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. And we have discussion decision to approve liquor license for A-Bait of Iowa Incorporated.
Should we save that conversation for when Phil's here with EMS?
Probably can't use it as a weapon, right?
I would.
If they filled out the permit and done everything. Yeah, I don't know.
We can save it for when Phil's here if we want to, that's fine. I don't know that. I don't know, we'll get to it then. Discussion decision to approve solution support license agreement for 26-27. TJ isn't here,
Yes, I am here.
I didn't even see you come in.
Sneaky. Yeah, so essentially, service support agreement runs out on the 30th. It runs from 1 July to the 30th of June each year, or something like that, so, you guys got the, agreement in front of you, and so that's what they quoted us just for 1 year, so it's the only thing is the verbiage about, they can terminate our contract with them if we were too abusive towards their, to the solutions employees and stuff like that, so.
Say that again?
That they can terminate our contract, our service agreement with them, if we're too abusive, if we use foul language or cuss at them or whatever else and stuff like that. That's something new they added to the agreement
Oh.
and stuff like that from the previous year, so.
I don't think we have that problem here.
No.
We should be alright.
Yeah,
I would hope.
it's-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay, well, not a lot of option there, so.
No.
Um,
Not yet.
I would need a motion to approve the support and license agreement for 1 year contract. Motion by Garmin,
Second.
second by Stecker. Discussion on the agreement? If not, all in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Is that all for you, TJ, I think?
Yep, for today, so.
Okay, thanks, TJ.
Yep,
Thanks,
no problem.
TJ.
Mhm.
Okay, Phil, since you're in here, we had the approval for liquor license for A-Bait of Iowa. The sentiment is that something that we can use as a
Is Todd around today?
incentive, or, is Todd around? I don't know.
Might be a good question for him.
I know he had conversations with their attorney,
Okay,
so I was gonna ask if he could come up. Todd and I have had conversations regarding the contract that we sent out.
okay,
Todd, Howard Haas. Phil's up here talking, about A-Bait stuff, wanna know if you could come out. Thank you. Be right up.
Do we wanna do the repair quick? Lucas device, any of that stuff? while we're waiting for Todd?
Sure.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So, yeah, approval for ambulance repair at Nate's Auto and Truck Repair in Bancroft?
Yeah, it's 2012 ambulance we had, we've been having some issues with it for the past couple of years as far as the exhaust filter goes. And their only option was to repair it, was hoping to kind of limp along a little while, and all of a sudden we had where it had to get fixed because it was not working, so to get it repaired, and we've got a couple different estimates, but up at Nate's was the best option. It was 7,000.
340, maybe?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The truck only has like 80,000 miles on it, it's 2012, but it's still got a lot of life left in it. And we couldn't, being a county vehicle, we couldn't just do away with the dust.
Right, right. Okay, motion,
Diesel,
Yes.
I'll make a motion. Yeah, go ahead.
motion by Haas,
Second.
to approve the repair, second by Stecker, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, yeah, Todd is up here now. We had an approval for a liquor license for A-Bait on our agenda, and I know there's some things the board would still like to work out with them, but Phil mentioned you had conversations with their attorney and wondered what the status of that was.
Well, let's go back in time a little bit. Phil had approached me and wanted me to draft an emergency medical services event standby service agreement. Universal one that can be used for all the different activities that are going on, not just specifically for a bait. And so I drafted a contract, an agreement for that purpose. I believe at some point in time that it must have been presented to a bait, because then I got a call from Jesse Marsden, who had indicated that he had spoken with a bait and was kind of curious as to why they needed to sign this, because according to him, they have not requested any additional services at all. So he said, and to his knowledge, they never have. I don't know. This is my first time in this discussion. So I talked to Phil and I said, well, they're saying they're not requesting it, they don't need an ambulance out there, they're not requesting any additional services instituted. And so obviously there's one of the parts of this agreement says that they're requesting additional services. And so my discussion with Phil was, okay, well, they're not requesting it, but what should we do proactively, recognizing that, they're not wanting to do this agreement, but also recognizing that in the past we've had multiple calls out there in order to protect our citizens so that we don't have a limited staff with that knowledge of additional calls. That's where we are. And I told Phil, I said, well, we have to obviously look out for our citizens first, because, this was an opportunity that debate had to increase the number of staff that are on call or available. And I say at least my suggestion, Phil, was let's put the added staff on with priority to our citizens, since they're not requesting it.
So for 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with one of those days being a holiday, for one extra crew for those 3 days cost us $4,800. The contract that we sent them, we were asking for $1,800. So we're asking for a small portion of our actual cost and hoping we can recoup the rest based on call volume. As Todd said, him and I had a conversation and I agree, we have to still add that additional staffing. I have that on the agenda for us to have a discussion on having that additional staffing in place, because I don't wanna have a crew out to the abate park and have an emergency in town and our citizens aren't having the response they deserve. On the other hand, with one crew being placed on the park, if they have multiple calls, they're gonna have to wait for us to come back and location and turn around and respond to the second call. We're obviously not gonna send two units out to their park and leave the county uncovered. That's my take on it.
What Mr. Marsden also indicated that they have, I've really not been out there during the abate, so I don't know. I live right next door, so I mean, I can hear it from my house, but, he said that they have an emergency place there. They take care of the people there, that they feel that, you know, they can handle most of the issues. And then the second thing that he said was, or he indicated was that, well, you know, a person who needs ambulance service to the hospital, that they would be billed for that transport, correct? I don't.
Correct.
And I don't know. So, you know, those services would be, if necessary, billed and collected through whoever the individual is that needs that service. Which made sense, but I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, typically it's extremely hot, you know, and you know, the idea is that we wanna make sure that we have enough on call in order to service our people, recognizing that, you know, they would have the priority since they haven't requested this additional service for their event.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
What's that?
He said it's disappointing.
It is.
And in the past, we had conversation with them every year, and every year they've requested a different level of service at the park. It's just unfortunate that we can't have a good communication between us and abate.
Right, and I think if that request is made, then that's where we have the ability to have the contract signed, because they're actually asking for it. I think it's well, just in my opinion, you know, when you have that many people gathering, it is,
Safety factor.
it is a factor to consider, and, you know, I don't know all the numbers every year, and, you know, you hear various numbers, but there's a significant group that gathers at that event, which at some point in time could exceed the population of the city of Algona, you know, and double it. So when you look at the potential there, you know, I would think that a request to at least have a standby would be appropriate, but I'm advising the board, not abate, so.
Well, kinda ties in with that directly or indirectly, but their liquor license that they're asking for, are there any conditions that we cannot approve that?
I haven't looked into that. When does that come before the board?
Right.
It's
now.
on our
now.
agenda today, but if you need time to research it.
Yeah, I mean, I would like a
we
little-
act on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if conditions can be made regarding protection or safety, security, those types of things, I don't know.
I'd consider it to be a safety aspect with weather and heavy alcohol consumption and not having ambulance services dedicated for that event.
With that many people that are there, I can't imagine not having that presence. I think it's not, I mean, the people who pay to go there, I mean,
I made a suggestion at one point that they could
Disappointing.
charge $1 surcharge on each ticket for medical coverage, $1, which would be more than enough to cover our contract, and it would give an additional revenue to put towards their first aid station. My response I got back was that if they added $1 price to their ticket, that money went to their fund and not back to EMS, so. That kind of dropped with that, so there's opportunities to raise $1,800 with that amount of people with little effort.
It's also a representation of their priorities within their budget for that event, so there's plenty of other dollars that get spent out there for that weekend.
with a large event, that should be a priority, is the EMS, it should be.
Should be for the event organizers and it should be for the individuals attending.
Absolutely, I agree, absolutely.
They don't look at it that way, obviously, a conversation with Todd, they feel that their first aid station is adequate. That's what it is first aid station, they don't have any protocol or medical directions to provide any kind of medical care other than, first aid.
So for the sake,
But I don't want EMS to cause them not to have their event or have their liquor license. I mean, we have enough friction between EMS and the bait the way it is. There's times I don't even wanna go out to the park because the tension is just, it's not worth it. And I don't wanna cause even more tension for our staff. I don't know if there's other options. Is there an ordinance we can pass that says for that kind of event, they have to have some kind of protection for that many people?
You certainly can.
Which wouldn't happen this year, but.
No, it wouldn't happen this year, but something to think about, and looking at it from the standpoint, I don't disagree with Phil, you know, you don't want, tensions to rise any more than what they already are. And, you know, it is a significant event in Kossuth County, a lot of, benefit, through that number of people coming into the county is provided to certain businesses in the county, and so I don't know, I mean, I think what I'm going to find is that it's not appropriate to condition the liquor license with the contract in that regard. My suggestion for this year, last year we didn't have anyone on site, correct?
Correct, we had additional staff in-house, we don't quite a dedicated crew for the park.
Yeah, and, you know, maybe that's what we do this year and look to, have an ordinance prepared that would, require not just a bait, but any event that has a certain number of people or more, is required to have additional ambulance staff.
We're required to have a special event agreement in place.
Yeah,
And when we prepared that agreement, based on the research we did around the state of Iowa, the minimum that anybody's charges is $100 an hour.
yeah,
We went with $25 an hour, we were more than fair with our agreement.
yeah.
And if we're gonna go further and continue, we have to re-advise that agreement to an appropriate price as well. Because $4,800 covers staff for 3 days, that's if I can get volunteers and do nothing overtime.
You said that the tension is so high, does your staff, I mean, for the most part,
I think most of
safe
the tension is
going
point
there?
of, I think, I brought that up last year because I was really concerned about sending them out,
Yeah,
just because of the event. I was assured it was okay, because I asked if I need to have law enforcement
Yeah.
presence for us to come to the park to pick up a patient. They assured us that we did not have any issues. I think more of the tension is between myself and their board. We do get along well with the first aid station and people working at the first aid station, so I don't want that to become a conflict.
okay.
Well, we do have a 9:45 appointment with Palo Alto County, so, if we could either approve or,
If you wanna table it, I can do some research, but I don't know, it's entirely up to you.
Is there any reason why we can't just add it for next week, the liquor license? We don't-
They need it by June 29th, so I
Yeah,
think there's.
okay,
Okay.
well, we'll just do that then.
Yeah. let's
Do you want a
just do it
motion
next
to
week.
table it, or you wanna just postpone
You can just
We'll just
postpone
postpone it.
it.
it? Okay.
Yeah. Cal 9, yep, we did that one. No.
The drainage stuff with Palo Alto should be relatively quick, you guys good if we knock that out quick?
You're fine. Hey, you're,
Is there anything else you had for us, Todd? or-
No, I don't, if there's, I mean, I'll be back up,
Okay.
if there is, just let me know,
The
I'll be
other
up for
lease is
the,
on too, but
Yeah, hi Therese, Carter Nath with
Thank
the
you.
Kossuth County Boardroom here, and we have a meeting with your board.
for the,
Okay, and
When?
9:45.
Yep.
Just checking
Did you
to
guys
see if they're ready
approve
for you,
these?
just a moment, please.
Thanks, Therese.
You bet.
you call me if you need to.
Thanks, Todd.
did you guys have any questions on these?
This line for you, and these are the resolutions we forgot to have you sign last week.
Yeah,
I have a box Carter
Oh,
too, if you sign.
I kinda
I have a box too.
From who?
Cause like, they're a visitor.
Oh, visitor, oh, okay,
So I'll bring that when I come back for the assessments, I can
Okay.
carry it all.
thank you, yeah, no worries, I'm here all day.
Yeah.
Tammy, do we wanna knock out the lease quick?
No, we don't wanna knock out anything.
No,
These
what-
people come
yeah.
on.
I would just make a motion to do
To do what?
it. The lease with public defender,
Oh, I thought he was gonna come back.
if we
He
had
said if we had questions.
That's completely up to you.
Howard or Carter, do you have any questions on that lease?
No.
I'll make a motion to approve the lease with public defender.
Okay, motion from Stecker, second by Garmin, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Okay, wait
Aye.
a second, I gotta find it.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay.
Stecker and Garmin.
Sticker and Garmin, thank you.
They are ready for you, but could you call in on their conference line?
Sure, how do I do that?
It's right on
Oh.
that piece of
So
paper.
it's 712
Okay.
852
Yep.
2563.
Did you call this one? Okay, yeah, well, I guess we've got it in front of us, we called the wrong number, thanks Therese.
Okay, and you have the, it's 480 pounds?
Yes.
480 pounds.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's necessary.
Yeah, no, we increased it to 8, and we did half, and now it's just up to you whether you wanna get the second half. Yeah. Good morning, Kossuth.
Good
Yeah, good morning Carmen. And board.
Yes, the full board here, and the auditor and the drainage clerk.
And we have the same.
All right,
Okay, is Colin on the line as well, or?
No.
He said in the email.
Oh, he's not, that's right, I saw that.
Do you guys have any questions on the change order or pay app for discussion?
so you guys all have the change order and pay up on your iPads, if you wanna take a look at that. Should be PAK 1. You sent it to? I did. On there?
I'm not finding
I
mine.
don't see it. Okay. Alright, is it right if I just, you guys wanna review it, or is it okay if I just read it?
That's fine.
Okay, the change order is for, bank shaping, strip wrap, and seeding and fertilizing.
I don't want to put it together, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's an increase of $4,615 is what the change order is for. And then pay estimate number 3 is for $118,722.20. And Colin said that the project's going along very well. He's expecting, was it one more pay estimate probably? And obviously the retaining and stuff.
Right. Yeah, we're well ahead of schedule, so we got a lot of rock hauled in the winter months with just weather conditions, and that was a good jump start to the spring work here.
Yeah, you're gonna approve by the engineer and the contractor. Yes, both have to.
Yeah.
So, yep, we
I'd
need a
make,
motion.
I'd make a motion to approve change order number 4 for pack 1.
Okay, we have a motion by Kyle Stecker to approve the change order.
Craig Merrill, second.
Craig Merrill, second. Okay, and on this side, well, if so no further discussion, and all in favor on this side, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All ayes here.
All eyes here.
Okay, and then,
Motion to approve the pay estimate number 3.
okay, we have a motion by Kyle Stecker to approve pay estimate number 3. Is there a second?
Yeah, Ron Granville, second.
Ron Grettinger, second, okay, thanks Ron. Any discussion on that? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All ayes here?
All,
Okay, very good.
And I'm sure Carmen will have
Thank
to
you,
sign and
I'll
send it
send
to.
over signed copies to you, Tammy.
Okay, thank you, Carmen.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
yep, bye.
Okay. Where were we at there?
So we kinda skipped over the resolution and the employment
There we go.
offer, but then
There we
we
go.
still got the other EMS stuff at the bottom of those.
Yeah,
first
10 AM
sections.
public hearing too.
At 10.
Yeah, well,
At 10, which it is
we're
10.
gonna be behind schedule, so.
Okay, let's, Phil, you're here, let's, discussion and decision approved for Lucas device equipment purchase for new response vehicle.
Yeah, that's basically the only main piece of equipment that we need to buy, for that vehicle. We have the monitor, we have everything else in place, so.
Okay,
That's just the one piece of equipment, and then I did put an estimate in there. It doesn't match what we have in our other vehicles.
I tried. Motion to
somebody wanna make
approve.
that, okay?
I'll second.
Stecker and Garmin second. Any discussion on the equipment purchase? Not, all in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, and then we have approval for upfit for the 2026 Chevy Tahoe as an emergency response vehicle. This is the one we just bought.
I got two estimates. I got one from Carl's and I got one from Main Street Specialties here. And there was only $220 difference between the two estimates. Main Street Specialty was a little bit less. It was just slightly more than what we talked at the last meeting when we talked about the price. We did add a bumper guard under the bumper, and that's why it's a little more than what we had talked at the last meeting. So that the final estimate was $21,343.
Okay. Does anybody wanna make that motion?
I'll make
a motion
to approve.
For Main Street
For Main
Specialty?
Street, yeah.
Okay. Motion by Wactor and second by Stecker. Any discussion on the upfit purchase? Not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, and then we've got EMS staffing for the A-Bay rally.
We kind of
Discuss some
stuffed that
about
and I
that.
went through with Todd, but
Okay,
I just wanted, the main reason I put that on there was just to let you guys know that I felt we should still maintain the extra staff
yep,
during those 3 days, that Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Do we need to actually approve anything for
Do
that?
we
or is
need a
it
motion
just
for that?
I just kind of wanted to.
Informational, yeah.
okay. Very good.
Thank you.
I think that's everything,
Yep,
for your stuff anyway.
I think so.
Okay, thanks Phil.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Okay. Back to discussion decision approve resolution 0609-2026-02. A
Is that
res-
in your packet? forwarded?
No, probably not, because, I don't want you to do it.
Oh,
So, so this happened because when we were talking to the payroll attorney about all of our switching, he said that to make it easier, some counties pay the last 2 days, the beginning of the second pay period in July, there's 2 days that are in June. They approve paying them at the July rate, so they're not splitting 2 days out from the rest of the days, and it's kind of an incentive for employees. After talking to other auditors about that, they recommended not doing that it sets a precedence of then wanting to always be paid for those last couple days instead of splitting them out, the end of the month being paid at that anniversary date, and then, how does that affect their salary for the year and all of those things, so, we did it after we talked to the attorney, and then after doing more checking, other auditors, the ones that I talked to recommended not doing that, so I did not put the resolution in there and was just gonna tell you that I am not recommending doing that.
no, because we have accrual for a reason.
Yeah,
We can't pick and choose what we accrue.
yeah.
Okay, so scratch that. Alright, we'll take no action on the resolution then. If that's where the board is. Yeah, okay. Okay, next we have discussion decision employment offer to general assistance human resources applicant.
We're just gonna make the motion to approve that applicant, right?
So that we can make the employment
Without
offer.
the, yeah.
Okay,
Okay, yep, I'll
Okay.
make the motion.
motion by Garmin. Second by
Like second.
Haas, discussion on that. I have checked with references and visit with Donna, and we can do that.
Do we do background checks? We still do that? Yeah.
I would,
Yeah.
Yes, we
But
do.
that's kind of after the offer, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, I thought so.
contingent on the background check.
Yeah. That's okay.
Is GR supposed to be GA?
No, she calls it general
General
review.
Really?
Oh.
Okay, alright, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good question. Okay, any further discussion on that? If not, all in favor of approving the employment offer, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, then we go to our public hearing. Okay, we have a public hearing for the proposed ordinance number 300B, an ordinance repealing Kossuth County ordinance number 300A, an ordinance amending various provisions of Kossuth County zoning ordinance number 300 for the purpose of regulating and restricting the use of land for the transport of hazardous liquid through hazardous liquid pipelines. And I'll need a motion to open the public hearing. Motion by Wactor, second by Stecker. Any discussion? If not, roll call vote please.
Wactor.
Yes.
Garmin.
Yes.
Stecker.
Yes.
Haas.
Yes,
Nath.
Yes. And then we will have a reading of the proposed ordinance, number 300B. This is an ordinance repealing Kossuth County ordinance number 300A, an ordinance amending various provisions of Kossuth County zoning ordinance number 300 for the purpose of regulating and restricting the use of land for the transport of hazardous liquid through a hazardous liquid pipeline, following a final court ruling finding similar ordinances to be preempted by federal and state law. Whereas on December 26th, 2023, the Kossuth County Board of Supervisors adopted Kossuth County ordinance number 300A, an ordinance amending various provisions of the Kossuth County zoning ordinance number 300 for the purpose of regulating and restricting the use of land for the transport of hazardous liquid through a hazardous liquid pipeline. And whereas various other Iowa counties enacted their own ordinances regulating hazardous liquid pipelines in or around the same time, including Shelby County, Iowa, and Story County, Iowa. And whereas a company endeavoring to install a hazardous liquid pipeline within Kossuth County challenged Kossuth County's ordinance number 300A in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Iowa by filing a lawsuit against the county, the Board of Supervisors, and the supervisors in their official capacities. And whereas at the time, ordinances enacted by Shelby County, Iowa, and Story County, Iowa were already being challenged on similar grounds in separate legal actions brought before the United States District Court for the Southern District of Iowa. And whereas the United States District Court for the Southern District of Iowa heard the two cases challenging Shelby County and Story County's ordinances together and found the ordinances were preempted by both federal and state law. And whereas Shelby County and Story County appealed the district court's decision to the United States Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit, and whereas the case against Kossuth County in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Iowa was stayed or paused pending the outcome of Shelby County and Story County's appeal. And whereas a 3-judge panel of the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the district court's finding of federal and state preemption of Shelby County and Story County's ordinances in the case entitled Kossuth versus Shelby County, Iowa, 139 F 4th 664 8th Circuit 2025. And whereas all appellate options have now been exhausted by Shelby County and Story County, and whereas Kossuth County's ordinance number 300A contains provisions substantially similar to the ordinances held to be preempted in the 8th Circuit's ruling, and whereas while Kossuth County remains concerned with the impact of the 8th Circuit's ruling on local power generally and land use specifically, the county recognizes the decision is likely dispositive as to any outstanding questions on the validity and legality of its own ordinance number 300A, and as a result, and in the interests of good governance, now wishes to repeal ordinance number 300A. Now therefore, be it enacted by the Supervisors of Kossuth County, Iowa, that Section 1, Kossuth County Ordinance number 300A, an ordinance amending various provisions of the Kossuth County zoning ordinance number 300 for the purpose of regulating and restricting the use of land for the transport of hazardous liquid through a hazardous liquid pipeline, is hereby repealed in its entirety and shall no longer have any force or effect. All provisions of the Kossuth County zoning ordinance number 300 not amended by ordinance number 300A shall remain in full force and effect. Section 2, Repealer. All ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with the provisions of this ordinance are repealed. Section 3, Severability Clause. If any section, provision, or part of this ordinance shall be adjudged invalid or unconstitutional, such adjudication shall not affect the validity of the ordinance as a whole, or any section, provision, or part thereof not adjudged invalid or unconstitutional. Section 4, Effective Date. This ordinance shall take effect upon final passage, approval, and publication as provided by law. Okay, that is the ordinance, and we don't have no written comments or objections or anything. Okay, and then I will say any comments or questions from the public that's present here this morning.
Yeah, I listened to all that as closely as I could.
Okay.
But, okay, so has Kossuth County received some kind of a judgment on, because didn't you file a lawsuit, or you were involved in a lawsuit as well, the county was, right?
Yeah, so I guess to maybe clarify some of that,
Yeah.
Shelby County and Story County were kind of the first two leading the charge in all of this. And so their process in the court system was ahead of ours, and Emmett County and Bremer County and other counties that were also involved and who had been sued by Summit. And so, that being said, there's no sense in all of us each paying and fighting our own battle that was gonna have the same result as Shelby and Story County, and all of us go through the court system separately. So, that's why we pooled resources between all of our counties to fight this, and it was all hinged on the decision out of Shelby and Story County, which was then, they lost, and then was appealed, lost, they tried appealing to the United States Supreme Court. The Supreme Court denied hearing that, and so the decision then rests with the 8th Circuit in Des Moines.
St. Louis.
I said Des Moines. St. Louis, I'm sorry. Either way, with the 8th Circuit. And so, that being said, the court has ordered us to do this, and every county has now had to repeal their ordinance, and at the very least, take away anything that the ordinance applies to.
And as part of our lawsuit, we entered into a stay where
Right.
we agreed to not actively engage in that lawsuit pending the outcomes of those two cases. So
Correct.
Summit and Kossuth County and all the other counties all agreed that those cases is where the battle was gonna be fought, and then everybody else would fall in line either way.
Because our ordinance is relatively the same or similar as Shelby County, and it would have the same result. And so, that's when with the court decision, went to the Board of Adjustment, or sorry, the Planning and Zoning Commission, who then made a recommendation to our board to follow through with this, you know.
So it just takes, you put in place things to try to limit Summit's area, and that isn't going to work. So what can be done now?
So now, the next steps is, the court system cases are done. I mean, we're done fighting that in court with our ordinance, that is decided. What isn't decided yet is, we still have, a case, for lack of a better term, before the Iowa Utility Commission, in conjunction with other counties, and we're still working through some of that. Otherwise,
And that's being battled through district court.
That is-
in
yes.
Polk County through a administrative review process.
correct,
Can you say that again?
So that, what Carter was just talking about is being hashed out through district court in Polk County through an administrative review process.
And so are all the counties still kind of together on this whole thing?
yes, with that as well. We're all in it together, as far as we have the same argument and desired outcomes of it. And otherwise, it's a matter of the state legislature or other neighboring states who are also involved in the project coming through, to support our cause there. Yeah, but as far as our county board of supervisors, the ordinance is done. Not, and the setback ordinance, and I wanna make it clear, this is just for repealing the setback ordinance.
To the pipeline.
To the pipeline, and so we still have zoning, we still have drainage crossings, we still have road crossings, and all the permits and fees and things for that. It's just for the setbacks and what that applies to.
So what is being hashed out with the utility board, and when you mentioned that process, in the district court down there, what are you guys trying to hash out, what are you guys wanting, from that?
Well, we don't believe it's a common carrier, for public use, and that's one of the things being argued.
Which then carries directly into whether they get eminent domain rights or not.
Correct.
So, the common carrier, the fact that it would be beneficial to the public good, some of those types of arguments, a lot of the same arguments that have been made from the beginning, but in particular, some of those.
Does it have anything to do with setbacks, or is eminent domain the main
This
aspect
would,
there?
this would just apply to, well, I don't know if there's anything specific with the IUT utility, it certainly affects it.
I don't have my notes on
But-
what all that pertains to, but, I'd say it's a more refined argument, or a more
Okay.
condensed argument of what's been discussed previously.
But if you have questions regarding our docket and our case before the Iowa Utility Commission, we can certainly visit with that anytime. This public hearing is for the repealing of our ordinance.
Yep.
So, does that answer some of your questions there, give you clarification?
Yeah. I hate that
Unfortunate
feeling of like,
clarification?
It's kinda like throwing in the towel almost. But hopefully maybe there's
Well,
some
so
other things that
for-
can be done.
For this standpoint and the discussion today, the two options on the table are basically repealing the ordinance, or the court comes in and says, your ordinance is invalid, and then somebody tomorrow or next year, 10 years down the road says, well, we have this ordinance on the books, but then they go try and enforce it, and then there's another legal challenge because you're trying to enforce something that you don't have the ability to enforce. So, I guess the simple way I would clarify it is it's cleaning up paperwork because we don't have the ability to do anything anyway, that's already been decided by the court system, so
Right.
it's, the towel's already been thrown in, but it wasn't our choice to throw it, so.
Yeah. Unfortunately. So, keep advocating through other means, but it's.
So this would be a great example when state legislators say to go back to your county supervisors, you can say, well, the district court said differently, so. This is a state and federal issue, as the court decided.
There's a lot of issues.
Right.
Okay. Just kind of wondered about.
Yeah.
what's happening.
Nope, very good, and I
It's been
appreciate,
a long fight,
it has,
and it's still going, we're
and
still
ongoing, it was
going.
already in process before I got on this board, and it will continue in process after I get off, it's, yeah, so, no, appreciate your questions and being here.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, motion to close the public hearing,
Second.
by Stecker, second by Wactor. Any discussion on closing the public hearing? If not, a roll call vote please.
Wactor,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes. Hearing is closed, and then we have a discussion decision to consider and vote on passage of ordinance number 300B, an ordinance repealing Kossuth County ordinance number 300A, an ordinance amending various provisions of Kossuth County zoning ordinance number 300 for the purpose of regulating and restricting the use of land for the transport of hazardous liquid through hazardous liquid pipeline.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Stecker,
One second.
second by Haas. Discussion.
Is this just approving the reading, or is this approving?
approving the
This is
ordinance.
the first.
This approving the first reading.
Ordinance.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
The first reading, basically.
Right,
I guess from a discussion standpoint, I think you guys covered it well, but our legal counsel's recommendation was to do this, so.
Yeah.
So we hired them for that recommendation.
Correct, absolutely.
and regardless, the court says you need to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a paperwork choice
No, I
at
know.
this point in time.
I know,
I just wanna throw that.
yeah, no,
No, that's good, good point.
okay, we have to do roll call vote for this.
Yes.
Okay, yep, okay, so roll call vote then please.
Wactor,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes. Okay, and then we have discussion decision to consider and vote on suspending the requirement that ordinance number 300B be considered and voted on for passage at 2 meetings prior to final passage pursuant to Iowa Code number 331.302 6A.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Stecker, second by Wactor. Discussion on suspending the requirement. If not, roll call vote please.
Wactor,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes. Okay,
Okay,
motion carried.
8-minute break.
Yep, we'll take a short break till we come back at 10:30.
sorry, you can't sign the first one, you have to sign the
Oh, I feel like you do that to me about every week.
I do.
I don't think my first year as a chairman I had to sign there as much.
I'm doing that on purpose.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Rod, how you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. Nice hit out today.
Yeah, great.
Gotta get home and spray beans. Don't actually have snow now.
Slushies?
Yeah.
Meeting day.
Supposed to be windy tomorrow.
Oh, yes, Kate.
Yeah.
Maybe chances of rain. Not too far many days away, it said could be in the 30s.
Third.
That's what I heard on the radio. Then next week.
Yes, and I got your, I did get your message and I hadn't called you back yet because I might need to figure out a different day. I have an obligation now that day that I can't get out of in the morning, which throws off going all the way down to Fonda for the day. So, I was hoping to sit down sometime today and figure all that out. So let me get back to you here within a day and I'll let you know when I'll be in town. Okay, thanks, Kate. Yep, bye. after here.
What do you think, Rob?
Oh, the board
Sit
needs
here
to
and
sign.
relax a little bit.
Yeah,
Nice to go in here.
yeah.
Get all sweaty outside.
But
That's it, then.
Well,
Already signed all these.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Oh, no,
those were already signed last week, it's just these resolutions that
Okay,
didn't.
Everything sprayed? What's that?
oh, I see.
Yeah, we forgot to have you sign them last week.
No, we gotta get started on the day. It won't take long. It takes a long time to fill it. Yeah. That's always the thing to go through. Sitting weight, 200 to 250 pounds, and then you gotta go 51 pound bags, it's just hold your head and then just. More automated. What's that? Do it more automated. No, you can't, it's the only way to get it done. Then you gotta dump all the other stuff, 20, 35 gallons of stuff, pump it out into the. Just thinking about that. So many tiny, another one is so many ounces and ounces. Then some fields, if you got little corn filler, mix that in.
I was always amazed, I would go in there and get,
No fun going to work on that.
So manual.
Get it all folded out. Back after the sprayer comes off on my side. No, you spray it around. I do that too, yeah. Usually spray it first, see what weeds got first, and then you got the cornfields done. That's too big to win with the side pressure. You'll break it over. Won't be long, you start check all the bells, greasy, the cover gear belts, clutches and gear cases, that all on. You don't want that to break when it's full of corn, you can't get it. Then you get the back. That's no fun. It's slow too. It is. Get unhooked from here. How long ago?
We paid for things.
Right. We'll see what happens. Some places,
This is kind of.
varies all over every year. Always does. Those are the places that you heard, I haven't heard anything on there. Some places are really.
Sure was.
16 years. And droughts. Always decent.
You got it going.
That shows the stretching of the sea channel, but we, the drink. We'll see what happens. We always have to wait. We got crop insurance, there you go, losses. There you go.
You guys are going.
I guess there's 2 months. Have lost 2 years in a row. Several places, expenses are really high. There's repairs, town fertilizer, and that's decent fuel.
Very good attendance for this.
What?
They didn't have very good
They
attendance.
did,
That was probably the lowest one.
that's what I thought
They won
too.
4-1.
Yeah,
Good luck, boys.
Yeah, like
They've been
the
losing.
injury.
yeah, it made me sad,
And not the,
yeah.
It was one of the dollars.
What percentage the insurance?
They couldn't go to the group.
Or Palo Alto County,
We'll pay you no tax.
actually, that information.
Yeah,
That could
a
have,
little later in the year.
it's on a Wednesday, or on a Tuesday,
Man,
so
they went
Wednesday.
early.
I mean, for.
Yeah, and I always thought it was in May before, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
I don't know on that.
Not saying it matters, but I mean, sometimes
They took
you
ours on,
get into
they said they
vacation
was
things, but
Good deal. It's not fun, they were here. They brought cornhole. And the grandkids spiders, I really like it.
Get back on schedule.
That was good, it's kind of a combination of where the celebration and all that, it's
Another 5 years, be 75.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna make it in an hour, because we can't do anything till 11:30.
I still got a plan. Reach the drain rack, it's only 65 feet.
That's not sign it.
It does. And then you just tell everybody, when you climb, hang on to your hand, they got a thing to step up the ladder and go on a stepping stand or maybe take a break and hope the rest are.
We get the okay, so that we can get out of
Then,
here.
oh, you had to find out about their.
Yeah.
All the weight and grease guns, wrenches. I wish we had, you gotta make sure the wire here was. That'll let it down, it's all over your hand. You remember that first 3 hours. I only did it once, so good. I do that. Yeah, you can get through.
Morning.
Morning, how we doing?
Good, how are you?
Okay. Didn't know what all I needed to still sign.
It's okay.
Okay.
Talk about that.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we are up to our 10:30 public hearing with wind energy conversion system construction permit form, Iowa Lakes Electric Cooperative for the Lakota Wind Farm. We need a motion to open this public hearing.
So moved.
Motion by Stecker,
Second. Whoop.
second by Haas.
Actually, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Any discussion on opening the public hearing? If not, roll call vote please.
Wactor,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Okay, and then we have presentation of information.
I don't know what you think.
I can kick this off.
Okay,
Good morning.
yeah, good morning.
Alright.
Ryan Craig, Iowa Lakes Electric Cooperative, President, CEO.
Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for seeing us again. So as you guys are aware, we presented this about a month ago. We're prepared to present in full again today if you guys would like. Since the last presentation, we went through the variance process and received the variance, and we also submitted a resolution. So today, we want to be respectful of your guys' time, but we are prepared to fully cover everything. So I'll leave it up to the chairman, and which direction would you like for us to move forward?
Well, this is a recommendation to us through, you already received your permit through the Board of Adjustment,
Yes, sir.
correct? So I would defer to Corey Peterson if, oh, you're back there. If you have any comments or information the board needs to be aware of.
No, other than,
Or-
the Board of Adjustment did approve the setback variance for both, I believe it's 1 and 6 turbines.
Yep, okay, and then I would ask if there's any public, or we have had no written
No.
comments or objections, any public comments or objections to the
I'm in
proposal?
favor of the repairing and putting blades and generators, cause I've lived around it for 20-some years and farmed around them.
Okay,
They're helping ethanol plant everybody out in the company.
okay,
Power.
Thanks for coming.
And
Yeah.
the 20 years, they've worked really well, they take good care of them all the time.
Good to know, good to know.
Yep.
I myself have not received any objections either.
Okay. Well, very good.
I myself certainly don't want you to start over with your presentation.
Save your time and others.
I thought I'd ask before I started pulling down the screen and plugging in.
No.
I would second that motion to save our time.
Howard, you're in quite a mood today.
Where to be?
He's telling it like it is, black and white.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't think you need to present them today, so.
Alright, thank you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you being here,
Consideration.
yeah.
If there's nothing further, I'll make a motion to close public hearing.
I'll sign it.
Motion by Stecker, second by Wactor to close the public hearing. Any discussion on that? If not, roll call vote please.
Wactor,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Okay, then we, will act on approving resolution number 06092601. A resolution approving a wind energy conversion system construction permit and repower of wind energy conversion system in Kossuth County and approves assignment of the project to Lakota Wind LLC.
So moved.
Motion by Stecker, second by Garmin to approve. Any discussion? I will just make a note, cause I did receive a phone call yesterday about it, not from a landowner up that way, but curious about it. And just to clarify, this is a repowering of existing turbines, there are no new turbines, it is simply an upgrade of the blades. And the system's connected, but that's the only noticeable difference,
Yes, sir.
you're just replacing the blades.
There's no additional turbines. The only thing that the general public will notice, if they're paying close attention, is going from 77 meters to 97 meters on the rotor.
Right.
Everything else will be exactly as it is today.
Right, correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the construction of
And the
temporary.
construction in
Sure.
2027.
Yep,
Yep.
okay,
That's correct.
very good, I just wanted to throw that out there as we're discussing it, if anybody is concerned about it, so. Okay, if no further comments or discussion, then, roll call vote please.
Wactor,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Okay, resolution is approved.
As I said before, I appreciate your company's due diligence to work in a positive manner with the local landowners and the community as a whole, so appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that as well. Thank you.
And your past presentations were very informative, so.
You sure I can do it one more time?
No, it was, I saw it twice, I saw it at the last meeting too, so.
You can
no,
get on our
very
agenda for-
informative.
Do you get a bonus for each presentation you
I'll
give?
work on it.
Answer's no.
I was gonna say, you can get on our agenda for next week, I think I'll be on vacation.
Can we all be on vacation?
No, yeah, appreciate your time and presentation there, so.
Likewise, thank you
Okay.
guys.
Yep, you guys have a great week. Okay, we are done with that, up to construction and right of way.
This is the resolution.
Thanks
Okay.
again.
Thank you all.
Yep, thanks for all you guys do, okay?
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming
thank
down.
you. Yep,
Go home, get to work.
sounds good.
Hi Doug, Howard, Colin. We are done with our public hearing and up to construction in the right of way.
I don't know,
Thank you.
he looks familiar.
Hey, Doug.
Poor Tammy, I'm in a mood today.
What are you gonna do to affect your
My
mood for the rest of the day?
Well, we started it off at the breakfast this morning.
You missed it.
When you said you didn't get anything out of it.
I didn't get any 1 point.
I didn't get any one thing out of it.
I didn't say one thing, 1 point didn't stand out to me.
I'm not gonna remember any of this.
Huh?
You said, I'm not gonna remember any of this.
Yeah, that's what you said. So that's why I said you're in a mood.
I apologize if I am, I don't.
He was cutting it
I
black
think
and
he's
white.
actually just being Howard.
Oh, well.
He's just being honest.
You gave us all a good laugh, yeah. Okay, so I have to,
Sign your life away.
Right there.
oh, I'm the landlord, okay. Okay,
in this case, you're representing the landlord.
Correct. Did you call that?
I did.
You did, okay.
Sure as he walks through the door. If he's not held up, but talking in the hallway.
Good morning,
Yeah.
again.
Morning.
Yes. Don't need to pass this stuff. We are up to construction in the right of way, if there's any
We
today.
do have a request from MediaCom to provide cellular, fiber optic line to a cellular tower right to the south of Burt on 120th Avenue. So they would be going from an existing pedestal, I think they're gonna be replacing that infrastructure, turning there at the tower and heading west on that private property. A couple of months ago, I think the cellular tower operator requested to do work in the road right away just to get into the pedestal box that is there, so there's some work being done. All of it has been approved going up to the road, now it's gonna go alongside the road. And I would recommend that the board would approve of this request.
Motion by Wactor to approve, second by Haas. Discussion on the construction in the right of way permit. If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. That is the only one I had in the packet, is that?
That is
Okay.
correct, yes. Get right there, please.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything for discussion today?
Oh, a few items. Yesterday, we had an accident, I'm not clear everything that happened, but it was a light pole near the fairgrounds. One of our maintainers were working in that area. I'm still trying to gather some information, but overhead light was knocked down. I'm not sure everything that was going on. This was the area, this would be the area south of the fairgrounds where where South Minnesota, a lot of people cut across fairground property to get to South Minnesota from Highway 169. And our motor grader was in that area. So, when I know more, I'll let the board know. We do have a pre-construction conference coming up for the asphalt resurfacing work. So Heartland will be beginning that sometime. We'll know more, I think that's Monday. Noxious weed spraying, B&W, they indicated last week that they were gonna be spraying. I don't know if they got started yesterday or not, but they are broadcast spot spraying from Highway 18 to A42, the middle part of the county. So we are doing that. If anyone, last week, Governor Reynolds signed Senate File 378. That raises the speed limit on paved surface roads to 60 miles an hour. We have approximately 55 mile per hour signs that are going to be, needed to be changed. There is discussion of how this is all going to affect roads, two-lane roads on state roads, whether or not evaluations are gonna be needed for no passing zones, with lengthening out the sight distance required for that, sight distance for speed reductions ahead, railroad crossings, those type of warning signs, rumble strips, There's also the manual on uniform traffic control. If a speed zone is being reduced by 10 mile per hour or less, you do not, a entity is not required to put up a speed zone ahead sign. We do have a few spots where we traffic is slowed down to 45 miles per hour from 55. So we're waiting for a little bit of discussion from the Iowa DOT to see what they are advising. And then also the county engineering community. I know we have an executive board meeting Friday, we'll be discussing this, trying to figure out, one, a timeline that it needs to be completed. There are discussions I've seen where people feel that if there's a sign out there that says it's 55 miles an hour, that sign is enforceable. However, law enforcement people that I have visited with says the statutory speed limit of 60 miles an hour is what is going to be used. So we still have a lot of things to learn before we start getting our actions. That does take effect July 1 of this year, so we got a couple of weeks.
So that's not, I guess I thought it was just for 2-lane state roads, that's for county roads as well?
It's for all roads unless it's designated by another statute that slows you down. For example, school zones are 25 mile per hour.
But like,
So it
going
is-
home to Laverne on McGregor and Laverne section road, that's 60 as well as of July 1st?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't realize
it
that.
actually strikes the word 55 miles per hour and
Okay.
puts 60 miles per hour in that unless the conditions below exist. And that gravel roads are still 50 miles per hour at night, 55 during the day, or what conditions will allow, I think is what it says for gravel roads.
You don't wanna go much faster than that anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah. Okay,
we have a learning curve.
yeah.
Did you say we only have 15 signs? to
I think
replace?
that's according to our sign inventory, 15 of them are speed limits, which really we do not have a lot of 55 mile per hour zones. We have, it would be where we may have tried to enforce speed limits coming into a town. I think going south out of Sway City is one, going west and east out of Algona is another. So.
I just would've guessed a lot more than that, but.
I would have too.
So if, I'm not trying to be difficult or stupid, but if enforcement is saying that it's 60, not 55, how do they know when they can enforce 45 and 35?
Well, those are by ordinance or by resolution of a city council or by a board of supervisors.
Okay.
So those have been, those are rules, those are laws.
And you said those fall under special provisions below the headline of the speed, so those separate provisions would all be the same, right?
There are special provisions listed, and there's also the ordinances or resolutions that the local city board of supervisors counties have put into effect. So. 2-week pay periods. Let's see, I think the end of this week is the end of the transition, so 2-week pay periods begin on the 15th. And we are ready to go with that. the intersection of P30 and B40 McGregor and Laverne, or the Boat Hobart Road, the beacon for westbound traffic. We have the beacon, but we need a mounting bracket to mount that to the signpost. And that is on back order, so, it said 4 to 6 weeks. That was a couple weeks ago. As soon as we receive it, we'll get that, signed up. And we'll start in a few weeks getting our end of fiscal year reporting complete. We're moving forward. That's kind of everything that we have going right now.
For the noxious weed spraying, is that something a private person can request a section of ditch not to be sprayed?
We
That
have
was
a
a
lot
question.
of requests.
You have a lot of, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They come to our office, we keep a map and we
Okay.
notify B&W of the roads or the locations. They also say they will, places where they will not be sprayed, that they will be taking care
Right,
of those areas.
right,
as
something
well.
to assure that it still
Right,
doesn't become an issue, yeah.
correct.
Okay. Okay. Alright, well, thanks Doug,
Thanks, Doug.
have a good day. Okay, we're up to drainage. Heather is here and ready to go. Discussion, decision, review and approve drainage assessments for fall 2026.
Updated spreadsheets. Easier, and then it's also the board.
Thank you.
Easier to read this way.
For some.
Thank you.
You know, some make them.
Yeah, thank you.
It's not. So I just tried to include like what all the outstanding amounts are for, like repairs, listed all of them, that kind of thing. Weed control, ditch spraying, that was requested by a trustee, so. And I'll just note that, where I wrote 18,000, it's just a total of, DD4 lat 11 open ditch, because I have, it's broken down by repairs, and then it was a previous project invoices, but that's the total we did assess for, is the 18. I just did not total it on there, so that's why it's handwritten in there, but. It's just,
Can we talk about drain 4 a little bit? Do you think that, like, when's our next update gonna be on that? Cause do you think?
We're just waiting for a decision.
Right, which could take, did they tell us the timeline? I couldn't remember for
Not
sure.
a firm one, no.
I thought they said
That was
within 6
9
months or something.
And was that from when we did,
There was
we did
an
like-
estimate of a timeline, but, I don't know that there was any firm deadline that they had to respond by, but it is typically a faster process than some of the other aspects that we've dealt with. So I think the expected response would be sometime this summer or fall. So I would hope and expect we'd have something yet this calendar year, but there was no promised hard timeline.
Well, should we assess something?
the DD4 lat 11,
No,
No,
drain
she's
four,
talking
open
drain
ditch
four.
at the top.
Yeah, top,
oh, sorry.
yeah, no, that's okay. I don't know, I just. I didn't feel the conversations were promising that we'd get everything. So should we assess something? I mean, what's everybody else's thoughts on that? I don't know, it's to wait another year? To do
Where,
something?
yeah, where and how do you decide that, cause we did that in whatever, 23 with a $700,000 assessment, and then
Yeah,
we're asked,
24.
how do you, which invoices add up to that, and it just doesn't work that way, so.
So what do you mean by that? I guess I don't understand what your point is, the invoices don't add up.
Well, like, what process do you wanna use to come up with a number if we did part of it? That's,
I don't know, I'm just thinking, it's so much money. And to put it off another year is only going to add to it. Even more, I mean, these landowners are, I don't know. I've talked to a landowner that said that they'd rather start paying. Granted, that's, one person, but rather start paying versus kicking it down the road another year.
Well, and if you pay it and then FEMA funds come in, you can credit that back to landowners, or,
You can leave it in the fund.
or you can leave it in the fund, right?
So Kyle's point, is how would you decide what, and I'm asking, I don't know the answer, how do you, is there separate invoices within all that?
no,
No,
No.
there's not.
And you were told that you had, once before, that you have to have a way to separate it out, you can't just throw mud at the
No,
wall?
that's just been the conversation that's been had over and over in this boardroom, so
Okay.
I guess it's not gonna,
Justifying the number.
yeah, it's not necessarily gonna affect me, I mean, someone could come in and have a question or criticize something today or tomorrow, but I guess at the end of the day, how is it being justified? And previously, with that $700,000 assessment, we had an outstanding balance of 1.1 million. So there was a significant effort made to pay down that balance. Whether it could have been more, or should have been more, or could have been less, or should have been less is all a matter of perspective. We could have the same exact conversation now, but I guess where do you draw the line and how do you justify it is,
Well, it's sometime we're gonna have to justify an amount.
yep.
I'm just tacking on another year's interest, you know?
No, I know what you're saying.
I mean, somewhere, that amount regardless has to be justified if FEMA comes back and says they're doing nothing, well then we're looking at $585,000?
That would be in the positive, but that's, no, right now it's 351,000 that is owed.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Sorry, that would be slightly adjusted because we did just TBD, it was before we thought what we might get from FEMA, so that's why the FEMA funds owed us is just TBD, because we don't know. There's
So-
not, and that just didn't get adjusted.
And the total outstanding warrants right now is that,
200.
it's
351,
and
but
there's
there's-
115 in waivers due, so roughly you could say the balance is 250,000 ballpark.
Because of the.
Yeah, waivers do.
Because of the waivers that are
And
already,
then
right,
It might be showing correctly in the board packet too, what's due.
yeah, so I mean,
Okay, so.
in another frame of reference, one thing I keep in mind is there's 46,000 acres in drain four. So if $250,000 over 50,000 acres, simple math is $5 an acre. Some people are gonna pay more, some are gonna pay less, but in perspective, it's definitely not the biggest bill that drain has ever seen, or seen in recent history. I'm not saying I'd like to add another year for the fun of it, of interest. We've had lots of conversations about the interest and the work that's been done on this drain. I think there's 3 ways you could look at it. You assess the whole difference, you assess part of it, or you assess none. And it's a matter of perspective in between. But, like I said, with the previous assessment, it was a $1.1 million balance and we assessed 700,000. So it's significantly less than it was, but it's not zeroed out yet. So when do you zero it out, or how do you handle that is the question.
Is there anything in drain 4 that's current that isn't part of that project?
There probably is.
I'm sure.
Yeah, there'd probably be
Cause
some,
if we, assessed everything about what was left. I mean, at least so that's being done. Keeping it current, because I thought we wanted to keep everything as current as possible.
Well, and there'd be probably the majority of the recent charges would have been attorney fees for that. And do you consider that part of that project or not part of that project? I don't know of any other significant repairs that have happened on the open ditch in the last year-ish, so.
But I'm just talking about like separating out the FEMA part and anything we've paid outside of that, whether it's a lawsuit or not, that didn't get included in the FEMA. So paying everything else, I mean, so at least it's, what we have left is we know it's that part that's FEMA, or that we're hoping FEMA will come through on.
Yeah, just from like last July 1st, looks like most of the like charges are like Goodwin Law. There is a B&W control specialist, that's 9,000.
And spring ditches.
Yeah, so that would be relatively current, but other than that, it's Goodwin Law, there's an Algonah Publishing, Bancroft Register, and then it's Goodwin Law, Nine Master Good, PC, are the rest of it, so it's
So that
like.
would be the lawsuit from Joe Goshi on the assessments and the FEMA.
Yeah, so it's about.
arbitration.
Yeah, but are they part of the FEMA money that we could be getting is what I'm trying to say. They're not,
No,
so why wouldn't we pay them at least? They're not gonna be part of that, so then we're kicking those bills down the road for what reason?
Yeah, I mean, we can,
I mean, that's just my opinion, I think,
no, I mean, I don't disagree, I mean, we can assess for whatever, you know, if it is not related to the FEMA, that's fine, I can go back through and, total that, but it would take time because you have to go back through each invoice to do it.
Yeah.
And make sure and verify that it's not.
yeah, I guess.
But, I mean, I'm sure anything from 2025, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be, so.
I know I already went in and talked to Tammy and Heather about all this stuff, so I guess my questions and all that were answered already, and we talked through the dynamics of stuff, but if you guys wanna do something different, it would take time to put it together.
I do agree though, that we know those funds aren't gonna be coming in, so why postpone collecting more interest on those, so.
no. If they're not part of that, then we should keep all of that at least current. I mean, because that was really our goal, is to keep current.
Yeah.
The only caveat that I would toss out just for sake of discussion is the FEMA funds that would be hoped to be received. I know the last time we had a major conversation about drain 4, it showed that we would have a positive balance in drain 4 if everything came through. Granted, that's an if, that's a not for sure, but the remaining balance would actually be completely wiped out if all the funds come through, and then some. So, I mean, that's where the previous assessment was questioned, because where do you draw the line? And if we assess what's current or more recent bills, and then everything comes through, then are you gonna do a refund, are you gonna leave it in the account, what are you gonna do from there? And it's all a matter of opinion.
Well, I think landowners would rather pay less now than more on interest if we waited.
We have the ability to
You
take
have
care of
landowners
the
on
current.
both sides of that.
True.
The refund, if there would be a refund, which seems like it's gonna be a stretch to get there, but if there was a refund, you can just credit it to their taxes, if it's, you have to issue a check.
No,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you get into complicated situations of any land that changed hands, and we've already had lots of conversations about that with people that bought a farm, say, last year, for example, or the year before, and a project happened 10 years ago, and they're paying a bill for a farm that they didn't own at the time, the original bill went out, so at some point, I think you draw the line of it just as, it's messy either way, but there's probably no perfect right answer, there's always gonna be a situation that's not ideal, there's always gonna be an individual perspective that's not gonna agree, but, it's really what we decide as trustees to manage it. I think it's good that we're talking about it, and I think it's better that way than just, say, ignoring it or not knowing that it's there. I think knowledge is important, but I'm not gonna suggest anything either way on that.
I just think we kinda, we had a lot of ground that we had to make up, and one of the things we talked about is, trying to be consistent in what we do and keeping that current. I guess that's my reasoning behind keeping that current. We don't know, we won't know for a while, but I kind of agree with Howard when he says it's probably not that, that's a lot of ground to make up that we probably won't with FEMA, so why not make the blow a little bit less when we finally do get that answer? And then we have that answer, this is the amount versus, oh yeah, that amount also includes this, and this from the last year. Well, why didn't we assess it, This way we know what's left is that.
I guess I'll chime in there, somewhat, I agree with what you're saying, I think. I don't wanna sit here a year from now and answer questions about where the division was. I would be in favor of assessing what has nothing to do with the old stuff.
Yeah.
So that when we do hear the FEMA result, we can say with confidence that
Yes.
that this is all related to years gone by. The current stuff was taken care of in whatever year we're talking.
26.
It's 26 calendar and it's 26 fiscal, but it's gonna be 27 when they get their
Assessments,
Be a much easier-
Anyway, I don't know who I was agreeing with there, but everybody's gonna be gone that has any prior knowledge, well, Amber still might have some prior knowledge, but.
Well, I just think if we're current, then we always know where we're at if we stay current every single year with in every attempt possible. Obviously the FEMA's a different situation, but all the other attempts, I think we should try to do that, cause then we always know where we're at with every drain.
So can we approve these assessments subject to breaking out those,
The FEMA expenses for the,
well, not breaking out the FEMA, breaking out the current expense.
yeah, the FEMA versus the current.
If we're looking to approve this assessment schedule?
I
Yes.
think you should have those numbers before we vote on it, but
Well, she could probably tell us what they are, cause you did kinda say ditch spraying and the good
Well,
one and the good one.
but if the good one's just related to a law case, then that would be easy enough to pay. Right?
It's gonna be
well, we have to add
no
them all
matter what.
together.
Yeah.
Add them all
Yeah,
together.
so
I
they
mean-
want an amount of what
Yeah, if we
the
had
total
an
would
amount.
be. It would just be from the last,
So 7-1.
how far back do you wanna go?
I guess,
Well, that's,
When was FEMA done?
so if we go
these
from,
ones in time, it won't pay the new ones.
So we're thinking, technically we're paying what's due from this year, we just don't be paying.
So that's what I'm saying, like, you
Yeah,
have to
but-
sit down and go through each invoice to
Yeah,
see which
you're
they are.
assessing,
But we
not
don't-
paying the actual bills, and that's
Right.
where even
I
money
mean, we
that
could
came
even
from
do this from
Those
March,
bills
FEMA
January, I don't know if those are.
paid old warrants that were from the previous repair project that had nothing to do with them, and that was one of the other discussion points is FEMA money went to pay an old project, well,
that's the way it works.
It's
That's
it's the
the way-
timing of it, and
Yes.
it's the fact that they were still on the books, so, yeah, I mean,
Either way, it's, I don't know, it's more tomorrow, something, but it's nowadays,
Yes.
collecting.
So they're not getting, yeah.
So this is just from the first of last year, then. It's gonna be, I mean, unless we have a calculator, I don't have a calculator.
yeah, I mean, it's hard to know when to start and stop, cause we have Zach Lubenthal excavating from March of 2024. I'm guessing that will be tied up in FEMA funds, is that part of the FEMA
March of
funds?
24, would it be? March of 24.
I'd have to look at the request number and see what that correlates to, is it significant?
Yeah.
How much?
Do you-
$55,
58.
close, yeah, 58,000, give or take.
Wonder if that would have been a
Well, there was-
follow-up after the project.
Yeah, cause there's, invoices from February of 24, and then right after is March of 24 from him, so.
Separate bills for different projects?
I don't, like I said, I would have to go through each invoice
Yeah.
and check it out, but.
Yeah, it doesn't tell us the project.
Usually we look at requests, but that's a bigger amount though, so
No.
I wouldn't be.
It's, I'm gonna try and find claims.
And then we have Goodwin starting August of 24.
I'm sure it was.
I'm
it was
guessing all
either
the
stuff
Goodwin ones will
discussed
be
at the public
awesome.
hearing, or it was.
We won't have to, I mean, that won't be in FEMA, so for
No.
sure we can start
And then I
Maybe,
master.
what about the Kossuth County,
the secondary road that,
possibly?
yeah, we, like,
What kind of money are we talking about right there, the ones that you're looking at?
well,
When you say 58,000?
that's just for those.
Yeah, 75, 10, 15, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then all the little ones. So that's already 100 and,
I'd say 150.
yeah, roughly 150,000, give or take, I mean. Just, I mean, there's a bunch of 5,000s which are easy to count, but then there's a
Sure.
bunch of like
Yeah.
400, 300,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
so.
I know it's something from 24B.
The one paid in February was request from 2023, and it could have been, haven't gotten to that point.
Well, I'd say definitely anything after July 1st of 2025.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
at
okay.
that for sure, anything from here on down, if that's what they
Yeah, I just-
decide.
So
Right
that
there,
one was
so.
the stuff discussed at the completion hearing, and that was.
Will you read
20
those amounts off to me and I'll add them on my calculator?
After July
So maybe
1st.
don't pay his, or that, you know what I mean,
Okay.
don't.
Yeah,
use
so
that
that was,
amount.
that was
5,000.
28,000.
474,
I don't know what the next
475,
one
yeah.
was, that was.
another 5,000. 4,087.90. 2587.50. 943. 27.68. 23.98. 8128.00. 3783.78. 1968.13. 4312.50. 1414.50. 1115.50. 15,000. 2,000. $46. 42.35. 10,000. 23.35. 2403.50. 4,000.
And this one, this
78,
other one would have been
88,
along
97.
the ditch in conjunction with that project too.
So the amounts from July 1st of 2025 until, did you add those in there?
No, that's a separate drink.
Okay. Just July 1st of last year till now, $78,888.97.
Not including the 5% interest.
Yeah, that's
or
not
anything
including
else.
interest or anything.
Okay, okay,
And that's just from July 1st of last year.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we should do. I do.
Okay.
Is it,
We
what
just,
we want?
is that just a consensus thing, or we vote, do something we're voting on, or what are we doing?
We're voting on the assessments.
I
as a
know,
whole,
but this, what,
Specific number.
whether we change that for drain 4, is that just a consensus we need to come to, or what's
Yeah,
the?
yeah, just decide what we want it
Yeah.
changed to and then approve accordingly.
Okay, so we're wanting that 78,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
78,888.97, and then of course be with the 5%.
That's just what's happened in the last fiscal year, or this
Yeah.
fiscal year.
Yeah.
Correct,
Or what's been turned in for this
Yeah.
fiscal year.
Correct.
Yes.
okay.
We're gonna round it up. That's what we've done.
We did not round any last week.
Yeah, and actually,
The computer
when she,
kinda does it.
yeah, when she goes in and puts it in, she does it by percentage, not by amount, so, if you want a certain exact dollar, then she's gotta play with those percentages
Yeah.
a little bit more, so it's easier if it's not a round number.
Yeah, it's just 78,888, and then plus the 5%.
Yeah.
It's only a year old.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that interest figure you'll be able to generate from the computer.
Okay.
Only other question, being we just got that bill from Vision Sewer for drain 40, is that something we should include
No,
or no?
cause there's been like random bills coming in and,
Okay,
I stopped as of
'Cause,
May
okay, I
19th,
just-
so it'll
I
roll
just
till
wanted to-
next year.
it was laying here, I didn't know if we should or not.
And
Yeah.
that cutoff should be earlier than that.
Yeah, next year will
anyway,
be.
But if
We
you,
talked about that.
if you start
Yeah, we
dragging
did.
the cutoff time back for this year, then you don't have a clear, for some drains, but not all drains,
Yeah.
then
Right.
you don't have a clear picture of what
Nope,
you
nope,
started
good,
with.
good enough, it was just
Transition.
Good idea.
question while it was laying there.
We talked about
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
last
with
week.
Yeah, we
talk
did.
about March
Yeah, we did.
31st.
the last, I believe it was like the last claim run in March, depending, cause I think it depends on when
Yeah.
it runs,
Yeah,
or the calendar year, but yeah, I do have that in my notes. So next year that'll be the cutoff and nothing after.
Yeah.
Good.
Make it a little easier.
Good enough.
Make it easier for you.
Yeah.
a lot easier.
Everything else acceptable for everyone to approve?
I think so.
And like we discussed last week, I'll have them like, all our drain 4s will be together, even if the fund numbers are spread out, just so you can see it all together. Right now, they're organized by fund number, now, or numerical order, but
Mm.
Yeah.
next year we'll have them just by the fund name.
Okay,
Actually, good.
Yeah, and we discussed it last week when we were going over stuff, but drain 4, lat 40 and 42 have waivers that was already approved and
Predetermined.
set by the board, so.
Yeah,
That'll be a
yeah, and
bigger
Tyler,
improvement project that'll be assessed this year.
yeah, Tyler confirmed it was 20 years at 5% for both laterals, so,
Yep,
previously discussed.
okay.
I'll make a motion,
Anyone?
I'll make a motion to approve these assessments for this year. So that's proper.
Motion by Haas, second by Garmin. Any further discussion on the drainage assessments for fall of 2026? If not, all in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Then we have drainage repair requests, or request one.
I think it's just Kyle's right, yeah.
yeah.
This is grand, sure.
Well, we're gonna be right on time for your canvas of election.
Wow, look at me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is number 42 and
Or I guess you put
drain
me down.
185 and grant section 13. It's already been prepared by Rice, any questions?
Goes north. Up there, it goes north. Not that it matters.
Couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Okay, thank you.
Need a
You're welcome for
motion?
not answering your question. I'd have to look at the map closer again.
Need a motion to approve?
I'll make that.
Motion by Haas. Second by
I'll second.
Wactor. Discussion on the repair requests. Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Heather.
Yes, thank you very much, Heather, so this is yours, Carter.
Yeah, that's
That's
yours.
mine too.
And they have the wrong address on there,
Yeah,
that may be
they
why
keep-
they,
Christmas.
Keeps going to Top Dog Brewery.
yeah, luckily our UPS man knows you. So that may be why it's getting delayed and getting to us
Yeah.
too.
What's the address here?
114.
114 West State?
They are sending it to East State.
East State, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so. There you go.
So it's not beer in there.
No.
What is
Sounds
it?
wiggly. I hope it's not sewer.
I wanna know what would they send me in a box?
I don't know.
Who's it from?
Visit sewer. I've got the USB of all the cameraing, I don't know what I would get in the box.
Maybe you're open
You should open it.
Alright,
Maybe do that outside board meeting.
yeah, we'll do that, we'll do that later.
Here, I have a letter.
Let's handle
Yeah.
the business.
Okay. We're on drainage, so I don't know. Okay, discussion with county auditor.
Okay, so, we have interviews this afternoon for the IT position. Thursday of the department head meeting at 9 o'clock here. I won't be here right away because we have the election audit that morning at 9 o'clock, so
Which precinct got chosen?
Garfield Whittemore.
Oh, okay.
And we're auditing 2 state races, Senate race and auditor state. So, Garfield Whittemore is what we'll be auditing. Next week, we have a hog confinement, Brent Murphy site number 2, the one that was postponed from last time. We'll have that at 8:30.
You got the paperwork corrected then?
Yes. So that will be ready to go. Then I have a question, so of course we've been working on getting everything ready for our payroll change, switching to bi-weekly. And when we were figuring out the amounts, one thing that the payroll attorney has said is that Board of Supervisors need to make exactly what you guys approved during the budget time. So with switching to 2-week payroll, you'll be paid July 2nd. If we pay you for the full month, July 2nd, you'll be short $139.07 for fiscal year 26. So, if you guys are okay with it, we'd like to do another resolution paying you that $139.07 on June 19th, so that you have exactly the amount that you approved for the budget. So then you'll have that, you'll be short the $139 July 2nd, but at least it will be in the correct fiscal year, and then there's no issues there about what was approved versus what you got paid. So if that's okay, we will work on a resolution, and then you guys will get a small check on the 19th.
Yeah,
Okay.
go to McDonald's once.
Yeah. So, okay, that's what we will do for that then. And that's all I have.
Okay. Josh?
No.
No meetings? Amber?
No meetings.
Kyle?
Same,
Howard?
besides the one we all went to this morning, except Josh.
Yeah. Josh was here at 8 o'clock.
Was here on time, by golly.
And Barry. I had no meetings as well. I've got Board of Health tomorrow and our final DCAT meeting coming up. Okay, one thing I was gonna bring up, when we got quotes for brush control for drainage ditches, they weren't bid the same way. As far as the same amount of miles, example, drain 4, one contractor bid a half mile or 1 mile or something, and the other one bid 7 miles, 9 miles, something like, so like, they weren't bidding on the same mileage of ditch, and so there was, I'm just, whether that's corrected now or corrected next year, we need to make sure that they're bidding the same thing.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
who determines that?
Yeah, who determines that?
What they're bidding on?
Yeah,
I don't know, I don't know if it's,
I thought it was like.
We need to get a
the-
description based
something
on,
Or is that just a road ditch?
I mean, I know like B and W has always had a rotation of certain ones they do every year.
Right.
So it should be, here's what's next to do in the rotation.
And that's what was sent to them.
I know the same amount of miles of the same drainage ditches didn't get bid, so that was all. We'll have to clear up at some point, to make sure all the bids are coming in fairly and.
Well, if it was,
And not saying one wouldn't have been lower than the other or anything anyway, but it just,
no, if it was clear to the people bidding, I don't know if it was, I don't, if it was clear to the people bidding, that would be their job to make sure it's bid correctly. You know, if it was clear in
right,
what we
oh,
requested.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, if one bid less miles than the other, that tells me that we're not getting the same service or product out of the two companies, if one's spraying half mile and the other spraying 7 miles.
Or one company, you know, like say B and W did a stretch of ditch last year that TVB didn't know or bid on for this year, and they didn't need to do last year, you know, it's, I don't know. There's some gray area there that,
Well, so obviously we can't do ditches like we do roads, I mean, it's not a hard line, the ditch crosses
correct,
thirds of the county, so we need to decide whether we're just gonna do a whole ditch, or we're gonna cut it off at road lines or certain mileage lines.
they must, yeah.
It doesn't identify that on the list that's sent out. The list just identifies the ditch numbers. It doesn't say how many miles or how long or anything. There's 3 rotations and it just has the ditch numbers. That's it.
I think that was
That's-
the confusion.
That's all that's ever been on any of them since
Right.
the beginning of time.
And I'm sure, like B and W probably keeps their own records of all that, and
So
it's,
and since they've always done it, they kinda knew where they,
correct,
I did notice there was a significant difference in bids over what we got this year versus previous years, and if that would correlate to our secondary road spraying at all, there would be a significant price difference.
that was one thing, TVB did give me a call and said that they had bought a boom sprayer, which they did not have previously, and so they have all of the equipment to do roadside spraying if the county is open to bids in the future, so. But anyway, that was brought to my attention, and just something to clear up going forward. I won't vote on it again, but,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, we can clear it up what we're gonna do in the future, right?
Right.
We can say, we can do that anytime, see what it's
Correct.
gonna be for next
Just
year,
have to have a distinct plan.
Yeah, yeah.
So when
which
did
might
we,
be hard.
it might be hard, when did we put that out before, like was it in?
The end of May, so I looked, last year's was like May 19th or something, so I did it the same time again this year.
So maybe we need to put it, you know, I don't know if you have a new agenda book quite yet, but at the end of your agenda book, just put a note that we need to talk way earlier, clarify some of that.
Maybe
So we're
March,
not trying to, you know,
maybe March we can talk about.
I guess I'd be in favor of, well, we got a little bit of old wisdom still here, no, I'm serious, we could decide how we're gonna do it anytime, and then, let's not wait till we're in the middle of budget and everything.
that's true.
Yeah, no reason.
February and March are not fun.
Yeah, so
For trying to brainstorm all planning things.
let's pick a slow one in August and
Talk about it.
talk about it. Maybe check with B and W to see how
they,
I'm looking at Tammy, that's you, how they did it.
How they bid it?
And how they did it in the past, I mean, we'll tell the story
Right,
too, you
right.
know.
What,
And
or
just-
how they would recommend we do it going forward.
well, and it would just be good for us to know too, if we just have a map of here's the ditches that get sprayed, obviously it's not the entirety of every ditch that gets sprayed, so
It's not even a map, it's just a list.
It's just a
Yeah.
list, so how do they break that out?
I mean, there are maps too that I
What,
sent
what get, what
also,
actually
but-
gets done every year or doesn't, or, yeah, that'd just be good for the board to know.
Yep. Okay,
And I think it is true, I think Amber said it before, of some level of responsibility on the contractor bidding it, so maybe a flat rate per mile isn't the most accurate representation, but, you should still be treating the same areas, but then you have a question, okay, if someone estimates high or low, if you estimate 10,000 and really it's 15,000, and the other person bid 13,000, maybe they would have done it for 13, I mean, there's probably some level of variability that'll be hard to get away from, but I'm guessing there's probably ways that we could at least make it more of a fair competition, so that the same information's being evaluated.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's, we're up to 11:30, so do we need a quick break, or roll into election, or?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, let's do that then.
Okay, ready?
I am ready.
Okay. State of Iowa abstract of votes, Kossuth County, Iowa. We, the undersigned members of the County Board of Canvassers, hereby certify the following to be true and correct abstract of the votes cast in this county at the 2026 primary election held on Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026, as shown by the tally list returned from the several election precincts. United States Senator, Democrat, Josh Turek receives 406 votes. Zach Walls, 191 votes, scattering 0 votes for a total of 597 votes. United States Representative District 4, Democratic, Dave Dawson, 232 votes. Stephanie Steiner, 170 votes. Ashley Wolf Tornabane, 153 votes, scattering 0 votes for a total of 555 votes. Governor, Democratic, Rob Sand, 589 votes, scattering 0 for a total of 589 votes. Secretary of State, Democratic, Ryan Peterman, 556 votes, scattering 0 votes for a total of 556 votes. Auditor of State, Democratic, Taylor Wettich, 551 votes, scattering 0 votes for a total of 551 votes. Treasurer of State, Democratic, John Norwood, 552 votes, scattering 0 votes for a total of 552 votes. Secretary of Agriculture, Democratic, Chris Jones, 546 votes, scattering 0 votes, total of 546 votes. Attorney General, Democratic, Nate Williams, 543 votes, scattering 0 votes for a total of 543 votes. State Senator District 5, Democratic, scattering 38 votes for a total of 38 votes. State Representative District 10, Democratic, scattering 3 votes for a total of 3 votes. State Representative District 9, Democratic, scattering 25 votes for a total of 25 votes. County Supervisor District 1, Democratic, Lainey Mitchell, 104 votes, scattering 0 votes for a total of 104 votes. County Supervisor District 3, Democratic, scattering 7 votes for a total of 7 votes. County Supervisor District 4, Democratic, scattering 6 votes for a total of 6 votes. County Treasurer, Democratic, scattering 27 votes for a total of 27 votes. County Recorder, Democratic, scattering 22 votes for a total of 22 votes. County Attorney, Democratic, scattering 25 votes for a total of 25 votes. United States Senator, Republican, Jim Carlin, 761 votes. Ashley Hinson, 1,186 votes, scattering 4 votes for a total of 1,951 votes. United States Representative District 4, Republican, Chris McGowan, 1,725 votes, scattering 5 votes for a total of 1,730 votes. Governor, Republican, Eddie Andrews, 46 votes. Randy Feenstra, 664 votes. Zach Land, 497 votes. Brad Sherman, 672 votes. Adam Steen, 164 votes. A scattering of 7 votes for a total of 2,050 votes. Secretary of State, Republican, Paul D. Pate, 1,811 votes. Scattering 5 votes. Total of 1,816 votes. Auditor of State, Republican, Chris Cornier, I can't say that. 788 votes. Abigail Moss, 1,015 votes, scattering 3 votes for a total of 1,806 votes. Treasurer of State, Republican, Robbie Smith, 1,739 votes, scattering 3 votes for a total of 1,742 votes. Secretary of Agriculture, Republican, Mike Nagg, 1,871 votes, scattering 8 votes for a total of 1,879 votes. Attorney General, Republican, Brenna Bird, 1,792 votes, scattering 6 votes for a total of 1,798 votes. State Senator, District 5, Republican, Stacy Besh, 1,373 votes. Dave Rowley, 699 votes, scattering 3 votes for a total of 2,075 votes. State Representative District 10, Republican, John H. Wills, 370 votes, scattering 1 vote for a total of 371 votes. State Representative District 9, Republican, Henry Stone, 1,382 votes, scattering 3 votes for a total of 1,385 votes. County Supervisor District 1, Republican, Bruce Pepper, 197 votes. Mike Ginrich, 214 votes, scattering 5 votes for a total of 416 votes. County Supervisor District 3, Republican, Gary David Miller, 284 votes. Christopher Zinnel, 109 votes, a scattering of 0 votes for a total of 393 votes. County Supervisor District 4, Republican, Barry L. Boland, 327 votes. Rodney Binkin, 149 votes, scattering 1 vote for a total of 477 votes. County Treasurer, Republican, Constance A. Ludwig, 1,860 votes, scattering 6 votes for a total of 1,866 votes. County Recorder, Republican, Karen M. Benscooter, 1,892 votes, scattering 7 votes for a total of 1,899 votes. County Attorney, Republican, Todd M. Holmes, 1,863 votes, scattering 11 votes for a total of 1,874 votes. So we therefore declare Todd M. Holmes to be duly nominated for the office of County Attorney Representative, Karen M. Benscooter to be duly nominated for the office of County Recorder, Republican, Constance A. Ludwig to be duly nominated for the office of County Treasurer, Republican, Barry L. Boland to be duly nominated for the office of County Supervisor District 4, Republican, Gary David Miller to be duly nominated for the office of County Supervisor District 3, Republican, Mike Ginrich to be duly nominated for the office of County Supervisor District 1, Republican. And let me go back. Laney Mitchell to be duly nominated for the office of County Supervisor District 1, Democrat. And testimony whereof we have here unto set our hands and cause to be affixed the seal of this county by the clerk of the Board of Supervisors at the county seat of Kossuth County this Tuesday, June 9th, 2026.
Do we need a motion to approve the abstract of the votes?
So moved.
Motion by Haas,
Second.
second by Stecker.
Whoops, sorry, just a second. I forgot I have 2 extras where no candidate was nominated, sorry. County Supervisor District 3 Democratic, County Supervisor District 4 Democratic, County Treasurer Democratic, County Recorder Democratic, County Attorney Democratic. All no candidates were nominated, and no candidates were nominated by voters of the Republican party for the following offices to be filled at the general election to be held Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026. And there is none listed on that one, so.
I'll keep my motion.
Okay, sorry.
Doesn't change your mind.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, motion by Haas, second by Stecker to approve the abstract of votes. Any discussion? Found it interesting, there were a few races that Kossuth County had a different result than statewide or region-wide. Anyway, no further discussion, all in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Discussion and review of election claims.
They should be in your packets.
There in the packet,
Yep.
yeah, I saw them too. We need a motion to approve them. Motion by Stecker, second by Haas. Discussion on the election claims. Hearing none, all in favor of approving, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Then I need a motion to adjourn.
Do you wanna sign these before you adjourn, or you wanna adjourn and then sign?
Motion to adjourn.
I don't wanna sign it, period.
Motion to adjourn by Stecker, second by Haas.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Not hearing none, all in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, we're adjourned at 11:40.
Okay, you have lots to sign.
I have lunch to eat between here and interviews, just putting that on the record.
Okay.
What?
Lunch to eat.
Here, what, you can start with these one, this one you just have to shine the top one, on these
And-
two.
Our chairman should have waited to sign these till we voted on them.
I was on a roll.
Apparently.
You were.
How was I not? Yeah.
You were trying to be on schedule.
You were,
He's ahead of schedule.
I know.
Oops. Oh, here we go.
Sorry, I didn't get noticed until I was down here. Amber.
Aren't you sharp?
I didn't.
Amber,